Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. We are back for some more F1 24 driver career mode for round number 23 of 24 in the F1 Championship. Here ready for the Qatar Grand Prix around the Losail International Circuit for round 23. So, yeah, it's been a minute since we've last, I feel like we've done a career mode video, so we're back, and we got 2 more races left to go until the season ends with Alpine, and it is going to be a spicy last bit of the season. Very tight fight for P5 in the championship with Aston Martin, and that is a good sign to see. But we push forward to try to strive. We can see we're 197 points, Aston Martin's at 214, so it is a very close fight. We are sitting P9 in the Drivers' Championship as well. We are comfortably ahead of Lewis Hamilton, so it is looking very good in our land, and that's what I like to see. So, yeah, honestly, the last 2 races, honestly, all we could pray for is just to get good results and to cook up some amazing results, because that is what is going to be needed. So, anyways, time for just reliving upgrades and just protecting parts, because if I plan on moving after this season, I really don't want to stay and carry on resource points from Alpine. I don't want to have them have resource points for next season, so that's just not my plan. So obviously, yeah, and driver performance index, we are now the 2nd fastest car, right behind Red Bull, so it is a very tight fight between the top 5, and even including Aston Martin. So yeah, so practice is done, car felt good, driving around the new Losail circuit, always a fun gig. So yeah, let's see what we can do in sprint qualifying here, and try to achieve a good result in sprint quali.
It's all about flow and pace today, qualifying in Qatar. A high-speed test that will set the grid for tomorrow's race. So welcome along.
And here we are, ready for sprint quali here. 3 sessions, obviously first 2 sessions are mediums, then we go for the soft tires. So yeah, like I said, I felt really good around here. Even in practice, I mean, the car felt pretty good. The one thing we just have to really worry about this weekend is mainly track limits, because these curbs are flat. But these curbs are also very dangerous. So yeah, so first lap around the brand new Qatar circuit. We've done a couple laps, so this is our first race on the new circuit. And I do like it this year than in last year's game, only because the curbs are more wider and you can take more advantages of the track. And that's always a good sign. But still, this track is very... it still has its moments, and right there, that's a track limits violation for, well, completely over the white line, and trying to take the curbs and bite the curbs aggressively as we can. It's very costly. So SQ2 or SQ1 still continued our final run in SQ1. Obviously, that track invalidation did not help us whatsoever, so we keep on pushing forward to try to strive and get a better result. But 2 minutes left. Well, session's basically over, but we are finding time. I don't know if this should be enough for Q2. I don't think that it wouldn't be. So I think we will comfortably be in SQ2. But coming across the last couple of corners now, foot flat to the floor. Now you got to pray that the car is just an absolute great on the straight line, and that is gonna. I think that put us into SQ2 comfortably ahead, and that's actually P1. So we go fastest overall. I'll take that. I mean, car felt good, so I'll take that. Thank you very much. So yeah, not bad at all. Obviously, well, that's very tight between me and Max, so it's very tight up from the front. Gasly gets P10, he's about half a second off from us, so obviously we did kind of go out the best time when the track was at an all-time high. So, yeah, it's still very tight. There's a bottom 5. Hulkenberg, Bottas, Magnussen, Stroll, and Logan Sargent are the bottom 5 that are out. Logan Sargent 3 seconds off the pace, so I don't know what happened between those two. Same as Lance Stroll. I don't know how you're 2 minutes off the pace, but you are. So, anyways, SQ2 almost cut the curb. Been trying to take these curbs aggressively and learning the consequences. But Purple Sector 1, so far pretty good. Very wide through the last corner, but no track limits violation. So, I mean, we were off the gas, so that's not going to help us later. But approaching these couple of corners, this corner as well, use that curb and then go right back on the curb. Cut this corner a little bit. Keep it tight and fair into this last flowing type corner and get a good exit for the triplets basically at that point. So after that, we go P1 with a 121.6, ahead of Verstappen and Perez in both the Red Bulls. So even with running out wide, we still managed to pull 2 seconds off him. So overall, I mean, we're looking pretty strong for a pole position here. And purple sector 1, purple sector 3. So like I said, the car felt really good, and it's proving that this car can cook. So it is cooking, and there's your results in SQ2. Obviously, it is very tight between the top 5, the top 4 teams, and your bottom 5 they're out. Fernando Alonso, Yuki Tsunoda, Daniel Ricciardo, Alex Albon, and Zhou Guanyu. So Alonso, Aston Martin have kind of fallen off the pace, and they are they're in a boat. So that's kind of unfortunate. But last run in SQ3, only doing one run, obviously, because we're on the soft tires. So we need to pray for a miracle. But like I said, I felt really good in our first run. Our teammate kind of held us up a little bit, so it cost us a little bit of time. But we do have enough time to go for another run, and that's a track limits violation, and that's not good. So we go out again. One more Hail Mary run, I guess you could say. These tires are already kind of cooked a little bit because we used all the way to the best performance, but we can still find time. About a 10th up so far right now, and praying we can get something in. That did not help us whatsoever. Obviously, like I said, track limits violations are going to be what probably costs us a lot of time in cutting as much as we can, and very much a lot of understeer through that last corner, which did not help us whatsoever. Going to the brake zone, my brakes actually, the brake pedal, the brakes broke. My brakes, my whole like rig, all my brakes just basically failed on me. What happened was when we hit the braking zone, my pedals flew off my wheel stand, and I had no brakes, so that kind of cost us pole position, I felt like, and I hated that because I was a little bit upset. So now we have to go on and redo some teardowns and try to get the car back to 100%. And yeah, I didn't enjoy that whatsoever. I actually was very annoyed that that happened. So it was tight, very tight, but fortunately not a good Hail Mary run through SQ3. So we were strong in both sessions, and unfortunately the last session said nope. So kind of unfortunate, but sprint race, hopefully we can get some points.
Welcome to today's sprint. This is shaping up to be another fantastic weekend. So we're back here in Losail, and this is the track map. 3.34 miles, 16 turns, and just one DRS zone out of turn 16. It's already a fast and flowing track after all. There's a good overtaking opportunity with DRS though, through the long straight and into turn 1. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting sprint. Lando Norris put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position. And Max Verstappen lines up alongside. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Oscar Piastri, Leclerc, Perez, Hamilton, Russell, Gasly, Sainz, Cowboy, Fernando Alonso, Tsunoda, Ricciardo, Albon, Zhou, Hülkenberg, Bottas, Magnussen, Stroll, and Logan Sargent. Which of these drivers will get pole position today? We'll soon find out. And alongside me today is a man who needs no introduction, but I'll try anyway. It's Ant Davidson. Well, they say that a change is as good as a rest, and whilst there's not much rest on show in the sprint format today, there's definitely a change to what we're usually seeing on the track. Let's look at their season, and particularly against their teammate. Fair to say, they've got the better of them more often than not. I know what we've got to do before the start of today's race, but what about our driver? What do the final hours look like for them?
Well, for them, you've got your pre-race rituals that you go through. You see different drivers that, some have got their headphones on, they're listening to the music. Some drivers really absorb the energy from the crowd and they're there waving to them. Other drivers, they go within themselves. They chat to their engineers, absorbing that information, that vital information that you need to carry you through the race. And, those pre-race rituals are essential to making things systematic. We do a lot of Grand Prix in a season, and the more systematic you can be, the easier you are within that environment.
Welcome to the grid for the sprint race, 10-lap race under the, well, basically when the sun is going down here in Qatar, so it's going to be a fun one. 10 laps, and we'll kind of get our first look at kind of the race pace that we got and pray that something good can happen. So yeah, starting P10, we just got to try to just charge up there and just get some points. I mean, all we need is really 2 positions. Gasly's up there in P8 as well, so it is looking pretty strong, but we need to pray for the best here. And here we go for the 5 red lights here, under the lights here in the Qatar Grand Prix. And it is lights out, and away we go for the Grand Prix. We get a horrible start, and not so good start. And already it almost lose the back end. We lose the back end. We hit the side pod of Yuki Tsunoda, and that did not help us. And the wheel actually screwed me over, so bad luck already on lap 1. And now we have all sorts of trouble going on. Another track limits has already bitten us already, and now the car just will not drive whatsoever, and now the wheel is acting up. It is not looking good right now at the start, and that did not help. It just wouldn't go. I'm surprised that we got so much wheel spin, but it happened, so it's kind of unfortunate. We go down the inside of Kevin Magnussen on the Haas, and yeah, it's not looking so hot, isn't it, right now at the start? And Bottas and Hulkenberg, they're side by side. Magnussen goes down on the inside as well. Ricardo is right behind us as well in the RB, so it is very tight and trying to go around Magnussen, but we do not get that move. And I guess we'll just have to follow Magnussen and Bottas and Hulkenberg through, and we also need to watch out for Ricardo behind us as well. So lap 2 now, and Bottas is under threat from Hulkenberg. They were side by side for a hot minute on lap 2, but Hulkenberg goes down the inside. This midfield battle, it's not helping us whatsoever if we want to get up to the front. And Logan Sargent is also snuck into this picture frame of P18 with Ricardo half a second back, and another track limits warning. So we need to be very careful the last bit of this race. But lap 3 now approaching. Bottas is kind of going to become a threat to Nico Hulkenberg, and here comes Magnussen down the inside on Valtteri Bottas, and also it's going to be 3 wide, I think it is, and it is 3 wide. Magnussen goes down the inside of Hulkenberg, 3 wide here in turn number 1. Who's going to be both Haas's versus the kick Sauber of Bottas, and they're still side by side. Magnussen completely just kills the 50-meter board. That should be track limits, but 2 and 1 there, and a 2 and 1 gets the job done, so I'll take that, thank you very much. And I was able to sneak through that because Hulkenberg and Magnussen, they had a little bit of a kerfuffle. Lap 4 now. Bottas has pulled a really strong gap. We kind of made a mistake at in the middle sector of the track. Hulkenberg is a threat, but he's not that close enough. So in this battle, well, I'm going to say right now, this battle did not help us in the midfield. I mean, it arguably made it worse. And now I'm just going to try to get around Bottas here, but also kind of hit the marks on lap 4. Someone has had a moment. I believe that is Lance Stroll that has had a moment, and we've lost the back end of the car, and that's into the guardrail we go. And that is race over right now. And that, oh my goodness, what happened there? I don't know what happened. I think we just got too eager on the throttle. Lance Stroll as well, also out of the Grand Prix. So two guys get screwed over, and well, that just absolutely ruined. That just ruined my luck. And already with the front wing damage already from lap 1 from the wheel spin, I honestly don't know what happened there. So after the pedal issue in the sprint, they come back and they said, well, you got another one. So that is quite unfortunate. And well, that's just how it is. Gasly managed to not really get any points. He kind of just fell out of that pack. I mean, like I said, the top 8. Arguably, I think that we probably would have been up there in P5, P4. I mean, again, you would never know. So it's very tight field. And we're learning the consequences of this tight field. So yeah, I honestly don't know what happened. Just played too aggressively, I guess, and that's what happened. So there's your results. Verstappen wins the sprint, Norris P2, Perez P3, Leclerc P4, Piastri P5, Sainz P6, Russell P7, and Alonso was able to sneak in 1 point. So yeah, he's able to sneak in 1. But main points are awarded to the big race on Sunday. So yeah, let's pray for the best, and let's get on for the main quali, because we're going to try to get some revenge here.
It's all about flow and pace today, qualifying in Qatar. A high-speed test that will set the grid for tomorrow's race. So welcome along.
gotta look at the data to see what happened. But Q1's over, and nothing really to recap in Q1. We just put in one lap in and to put us up to P2. So there's that. Magnussen, Bottas, Sargent, Zhou Guanyu, and Nico Hulkenberg are the bottom 5 that are out. Same bottom 5 that were out in the sprint as well. So yeah, there's nothing really to tease in Q1 or Q2. We just able to manage to pull in a good lap and able to capitalize. So Q2 time. And like I said, only 3 sets of soft tires because we used the last soft through the last part of sprint quali. So, but yeah, Q2 and yeah, car again 1 lap pace. It feels really good, and I've honestly been cooking some good qualifying laps. But again, endless qualifying laps gets annoying after a while because it's just every lap's a quali lap, and it's not as dominant as we were in SQ1, SQ2, because we're kind of getting, it's very tight between the top 2. Verstappen is able to sneak in a good 10th. He's able to find a good 10th somewhere, and Piastri's up there in P2. We got the P3, but there's your bottom 5 that are out. George Russell, Tsunoda, Albon, Ricardo, and Lance Stroll are the bottom 5 that are out in Q2. So for the final run in Q3, we hope for a miracle. Alonso relatively just had a good lap in as well. So Q3, final run in Q3. Really managing to do, I believe we're only managing to do 1 lap, maybe 2 laps, but it's a 120.0 for Max so far. Let's see what we can achieve here. And we did invalidate, and I don't even think we were on a lap. I think we just completely cut the corner, and we had to get out the way. But let's take a full lap around the Losail International Circuit. And through this couple of corners, you want to take these curbs aggressively and use the outside, then cut down the inside and use the exit as much as you can. Brake at the 50-meter board. Pray that the car sticks. Very slow speed corner, and now praise yourself for the exit. Focus on the exit. Take the curb on the outside. Turn in completely. Very tight corner, and use all the exit you can. Get off the curb and then get right back on the curb. Cut this corner and able to get through there through 6, and then a slight hit on the brakes, and now you approach wide. Use the exit. You want to utilize all the exit you can, and 3 tenths up so far, and now this final part of the track is completely flat out, and yeah, just the car is completely flat out, so you don't have to worry about anything. And through the last corner, probably just get off the gas, probably just get off down to 6th gear, very tight. You probably could lift honestly there if you could, but just a slight tap off the just go down a gear, and that's all you really need in life. So congrats, checking flag now. Where is this gonna put us here? It is very tight. That's gonna put us P2. We miss out on pole position by 0.053 of a second. I can't speak today. 53 1,000ths of a second. That was very tight, and man, we could have got pole position. I think that was very tight. So we put in a great run in the last part of the track, and they're able to minimize everything. So yeah, first run was an invalidation, and then we did a second run with a 120.9. So yeah, that first run must have been just a fluke or something happened. But yeah, I feel really good, so let's get on to the race.
Welcome back to Qatar and the Losail International Circuit. There's a long history of two-wheeled motorsport action here, but in 2021, Lewis Hamilton won out as part of an epic battle that year with Max Verstappen. But who will win out tonight? So we're back here in Losail, and this is the track map. 3.34 miles, 16 turns, and just 1 DRS zone out of turn 16. It's already a fast and flowing track after all. There's a good overtaking opportunity with DRS though, through the long straight and into turn 1. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position. And Cowboy completes the front row. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Norris, Oscar Piastri, Perez, Sainz, Fernando Alonso, Leclerc, Gasly, Albon, Ricardo, Stroll, Hamilton, Bottas, Zhou, Russell, Tsunoda, Magnussen, Sargent, and Nico Hulkenberg rounds off the grid. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out then. Let's see who can prevail today. And alongside me in the commentary box, my old friend, Anthony Davidson. Let's look at their season, and particularly against their teammate. Fair to say, they've got the better of them more often than not. I know what we've got to do before the start of today's race, but what about our driver? What do the final hours look like for them?
Well, for them, you've got your pre-race rituals that you go through. You see different drivers that, some have got their headphones on, they're listening to the music. Some drivers really absorb the energy from the crowd and they're there waving to them. Other drivers, they go within themselves. They chat to their engineers, absorbing that information, that vital information that you need to carry you through the race. And, those pre-race rituals are essential to making things systematic. We do a lot of Grand Prix in a season, and the more systematic you can be, the easier you are within that environment.
Welcome to the grid for the 29 laps around the Losail International Circuit, the main one, the feature race. And, yeah, it is time to cook. And we're starting P2. We're going to go for the one-stop, medium to the hard tire as usual, because that is legit the preferred strategy, and the hard tires are also OP in this game, so that keeps it short and simple. So there's a strategy. Everybody else is on mediums, no one else has gone to the hard tires. We're going to go for the 5 red lights here for the Grand Prix, and lights out, away we go. We get a decent start, not really the best start. We don't get a good launch off the line, but Lando Norris, he got a good start. We're on the dirty side of the track, but Verstappen with an absolute rocket ship of a launch down into turn number 1. And we're able to managely sneak through. Norris is down on the inside line, and he's got the inside. We're going to give him enough space. He's got the door open on the inside, and he's going to get around us. We got caught up on the outside. That was not the racing line whatsoever. So much dirt on the tires through that part of the track. But Norris is ahead of us. Piastri and Perez are now side by side, and Verstappen is able to sneak in 1.4 seconds already. So Verstappen is cooking in that Red Bull, and that Red Bull has been a pretty faster car overall this season. But if we're able to sneak and just stay with Norris, that is honestly the ultimate goal in this race. And I already got track limits warning on lap 1. Following through Norris in the dirty air is not so helpful. But lap 1 is done. Lap 2 is now upon us. Verstappen at the 125.1. They will arguably go a lot faster. But so far, what a decent start. It wasn't bad. We were on the dirty side of the track, which kind of made it unfortunate. But it wasn't a bad start. It was really not a bad start. And if we could just follow Norris through, we could probably sneak ourselves into the podium. And this is helping us out a lot in this championship battle, because we're basically able to extend the gap from Aston Martin. But now we got the DRS now. Now we're really going to start to fly in this Grand Prix. But Norris is a threat. Well, Norris is under threat from us. We tried to kind of trick him into defending a little bit, but we didn't have enough speed ultimately. So we'll have to try again on lap 3 now. Norris, he's 1.9 seconds off, so Verstappen's pulling a good gap. Obviously, Verstappen in that dirty air. Norris is kind of getting caught up a little bit in the dirty air of the Red Bull, but not really affecting him too much. But we're also getting caught up in Norris's dirty air, but we have a good advantage now to overtake Lando. He doesn't got DRS, so I think we're easily going to get around him. Very bumpy on this front straightaway. You can see the amount of sparks on the McLaren, but we're going to go down around the outside of Lando Norris, and that move is done. Now we chase after Verstappen in the Red Bull to see if we can sneak in some valuable points and maybe sneak in a little bit of a win. Obviously, we won out in Las Vegas last week, and ultimately that set us up for more points. So it'd be nice to get another one, but I think it's gonna be very tight whatsoever. So yeah, a very tight field in this circuit. But yeah, the top 3 have pulled away. Perez is under threat from Piastri, so the top 3 have kind of pulled a gap. Everybody else has kind of managed to just sneak behind, and there's like 3 packs. I guess you could say there's like 3 packs. You got the top 3, and then you got that P4, the upper midfield. Then you got that lower midfield with Hamilton all over in that field. And we get another track limits warning. That's no bueno. So we have to keep an eye out for the track limits. But yeah, the field is very, very, very split up at the moment. And yeah, honestly, we just pray for the best. So anyways, lap 7. Verstappen, we're not in the DRS quite yet. We have to kind of have to push a little bit more to kind of get into that DRS, and that is the ultimate goal through this later stages of the Grand Prix. But yeah, so far the car feels good. Norris is kind of under threat from us, but he's becoming a threat, but he's not able to get us on the main straight. And yeah, honestly, I kind of during some laps I was kind of trying to find the best way to kind of find time on that main straight, because that front straightaway is super bumpy, and there's a lot of bumps everywhere, and there's nowhere. You can't really find anywhere. It's just too bumpy on the front straight, so it's just it's just unfortunate, I guess you could say. And I don't know what else to say really about that. So we tried, but can't find much time. Just kind of have to accept it. You know, you never know where you can really find much time. You can see just the amount of bumps on the main straight is quite annoying, but hey, a racetrack always has it, and fortunately some tracks do, some tracks don't. But lap 9, now we're really in Verstappen's DRS, now trying to manage tires. We lose the back end a little bit, and that did not help. We're off the track completely, but we were able to manage to keep the car, well, we were able to keep the car now on the track and almost lost it. And man, again, the tires, they're not too happy with each other, and almost just spun up. We were able to manage the lead to kind of save it. And man, that did not help, and we've lost 6 seconds to Verstappen, 4 seconds, almost 5 seconds from Norris, and now we're in the podium. Now Perez is under threat for the podium. He is in the podium contention. So a costly mistake and a costly bottle has done that to you, and we're always a bottle job. Every time we just seem to like to bottle every race, and inconsistency at it again. And look at the tires, 45% on that front left, 31% on that rear left as well. So those tires, obviously they're getting it more than the other side, because obviously the curbs are just being deadly. And Perez able to sneak through so far, but we're gonna get right back down him on the inside, and we get around him. We give him a little Verstappen-esque type squeeze, nothing too crazy. But look at this pack. It's a 6-car pack. Gasly in the back of this train as well. So this pack is very much a problem. And you can see some big names back there. Alonso also in there. Gasly as well. Charles Leclerc as well. I believe Lewis Hamilton is kind of all the way in the back in that midfield type pack. So I don't even think he's in the points positions. I think that's all it is for points, or Hamilton's just running his own race. George Russell's also back there as well. So Mercedes boys are not having the time of their life, and pit window is open, and lap 14, and someone has came into the pits. I believe that is Fernando Alonso. So Alonso, he's going to attempt a undercut, I believe. I don't know how powerful the undercut here is around Qatar, but he's going to attempt it, and let's see if he's able to pull this off. And he's going to go for the hard tires, but it's a slow stop by the Aston Martin guys, and that slow stop did not help him out, and they're probably going to lose him a lot of time. But now we come into the pits, and now this is our time to capitalize. Leclerc also as well comes in, and the top two, Verstappen and Norris, also able to come in and into the pits as well. So we need a good stop. It's not too slow. The front right maybe was a little bit slow, but not too slow. So we are going to capitalize. We are going to get ahead of Fernando Alonso. That is clearly key. That slow stop did not help him whatsoever, and now we're able to kind of jump ahead of Alonso. But now we have to almost just lost it on the exit. Cold tires are not helping, but Alonso able to get around. Well, no, the top guys didn't pit yet, so I don't know where they're really going to stack up. But again, if he warms up the tires pretty quickly, then I think he is a threat to sort of able to capitalize on everybody in this front. But so far, somehow the AI, Perez and Norris, they're able to. Oh no, they're just coming at the pits. I thought they were almost about to come out the pits. It's a long pit lane in Qatar, and Perez, he didn't. That stop didn't help him, and that's actually 3 seconds time penalties coming our way. We've abused track limits too much, and that is the consequences. Like I said, flat curbs suck, because this track is technically more of a MotoGP type track, but also WEC does race here as well. But like I said, this track is more MotoGP than F1, so the curbs are fairly different. And some tracks, sometimes some curbs are fun, sometimes they're not. And flat curbs are not really my best friend. I'm not a big fan of them, but unfortunately, and that is a kick Sauber. That is Zhou Guanyu, who is out of this race in the kick, and Sauber once again having a dumpster fire of a performance, even though they're cooking really well in this season. And I don't even think they've even managed to score points since like Belgium. So Kick Sauber they were cooking in the beginning of the season, but they kind of fell off that pace with Williams and also Haas as well. So lap 20, 10 laps to go. Nothing really crazy is going on. Now we're just kind of running our own pace, and at this point we just got to bring it home. I mean, we're not going to catch up to Norris. If we pull 3 seconds, so that is the goal, but I think we comfortably pull 3 seconds, because here's the thing. If Perez and Sainz, they've been battling for a little bit, and they keep on battling, It's just going to have us pull away. But yeah, there's Verstappen comfortably ahead of Norris, and then we come into the picture frame, and we are comfortably ahead of the guys in the back, and you can see the big squabble. There it is. Carlos Sainz under threat from Perez, or Perez putting him under threat. You can see Gasly in that train as well. So yeah, these guys keep on fighting. It's going to be able to kind of extend that gap, but also Leclerc is back there with Hamilton, and Russell, I believe Russell is out the points, and Stroll is caught up in a massive train with Ricardo and Tsunoda. So very tight racing down this field on lap 26. Now 4.7 seconds is the gap behind, and now the tires are really starting to kind of feel their moment, feel their wear and tear. Like I said, Qatar, just drive till the tires explode, basically, because that is what this track is all about, and that is all it is. And gonna try to maybe start staying off the curbs a little bit, not trying to use too much, but I want to use as much of the track. And now 6 seconds now is the gap behind, so we are absolutely doing an amazing job so far in this Grand Prix, and the tires are really feeling the wear. That's a moment off track. That's actually another time penalty. That's 6 seconds now, and as we comfortably were kind of just saying bring it home, we basically decided to say screw that. We want to make it more challenging and get 6 seconds. So now we've really got to push this last lap to see if we can really extend that 6 seconds gap, which I think it is doable, because like I said, if Perez and Sainz, if they keep on fighting, then it's just going to have us pull more of a gap. So now we really have to push on the last lap of this Grand Prix. But yeah, honestly, that is crazy on what happened. Honestly, I didn't really even expect that. And again, just kind of maybe sleeping a little bit, maybe caught napping a little bit, because at the later stages of this race, you just kind of want to bring the car home because it's been a long race. And obviously 20 laps is not too long, but it was still very long. And that's, oh, okay, now this is just really bad driving. And now the tires are really starting to feel their wear and tear now in this Grand Prix. And from amazing to bad, and that is what this race has gone to, from really good to now really, really, really bad. And it's not helping. It's really not helping us whatsoever. And well, we're able to pull 6 seconds, but it's still very tight. So it's going to be tight coming down to the last lap, or the last couple of corners. So we cannot get 2 more warnings, because that's going to add up to 9 seconds. It's probably going to put us outside the points. And well, we're able to sneak through. We're able to manage to pull 6 seconds. And as usual, so yeah, Verstappen wins the Qatar Grand Prix comfortably ahead of Red Bull. And Norris going to come home in P2, kind of just like how it is in real life. But we're going to be able to sneak through. We're going to get a podium, win last race, podium next race. I'm happy with that. I'll take that.
I was a bit worried about this one at the start of the weekend, but man, you pulled through. Thank you. Well done.
The checkered flag is out. We're going to be hearing that Dutch national anthem again, because it's victory for Max Verstappen.
And it's always good, Crofty, to get that momentum on your side, and it's really good for your confidence as well. The more confident you are, the further that can take you.
Here come today's winners. The team at Red Bull have done a phenomenal job recently, and it's clear to see that they've put in the work, and they should be so proud of the victory they've secured here.
Well, there's your winner. Max Verstappen wins the Qatar Grand Prix ahead of Lando Norris and ahead of us. So P3 on the road, not terrible, not terrible at all. Arguably, kind of wished it was P1, but not bad, honestly. Just maybe just had a little bit of moments through the race that probably did not help, and ultimately that is a P3. So yeah, I'm not mad. I'll honestly take that. I'll take a P3. Obviously, we kind of made it a little bit worrying towards the end of the race, but I mean, it was a little challenge, I guess you could say, towards the end of the race. But yeah, Verstappen almost got the Grand Slam. He almost got the fastest lap, but ultimately 33 points. Max payout, basically, but he missed out on the fastest lap point. So yeah, honestly, and speaking of the fastest lap point, that's not happening next year, so might as well enjoy our fastest lap point while we had it. Honestly, at this point, if they don't want to make fastest lap a point, they should make pole position a point. So make that happen, F1, please, because that would be awesome. But yeah, horrible start to the weekend, but as the weekend progressed, we were able to pull that through. So now 5 points. Yes, 5 points split the gap between me and Aston. And, well, Pierre also. Got to give Pierre some credit. He's been doing decent. But, yeah, 5 points split us. And we're going to need a miracle in this last race. But I think we can do it. I think if we just stay calm, we can do it. But that's it for this video, guys. Sorry that career mode's been slow. But I've just really not been enjoying career mode too much. And been focusing on other things as well. So, yeah. Have a good rest of your day. Have a good rest of your week. Have a good rest of your night. And I will see y'all in the next one.